Plusieurs faits ont marqué l'actualité cette semaine, mais ces faits ont été menés par des hommes et des femmes. Qui sont-ils? Dans cette édition, le profil de la semaine, nous marquons un temps d'arrêt sur un seul. Blandine Dinka, good day.
Good day, Peter Girl. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for always making it a date with Le Profil de la semaine here on Global LTV. As usual, the show is dedicated to men and women of excellence and determination. Ladies and gentlemen, let us join Peter Girl as he unveils our profile for this week.
Voici notre profil de la semaine. Raila Odinga est notre profil de la semaine, l'homme d'État kényan qui a été à plusieurs reprises candidat à la présidence de la République de son pays, veut conquérir cette fois-ci la présidence de la Commission de l'Union africaine. Ayant occupé de hautes fonctions dans le gouvernement du Kenya ou même au sein de l'UA, l'homme de 79 ans séduit par son profil.
Exactly. Our profile for this week is Kenyan-born businessman turned politician who was member of parliament for Langata constituency, and he served as Prime Minister of Kenya from 2008 to 2013, who before that was lecturer at the University of Nairobi, Deputy Director of Kenya Bureau of Standards. He has been the leader of opposition in Kenya since 2013. He is the leader of Azimio la Umoja, one coalition party in Kenya, a man usually called Angwambo, meaning act of God, Baba, meaning father, and Tina, meaning tractor, drawn from his party symbol in 1997 elections. Current candidate for African Union Chairman, Raila Odinga.
Né à Messano, c'est dans la partie est du Kenya, Raila Odinga, marié et père de plusieurs enfants, est un vétéran de la politique dans son pays. Son portrait, c'est dans cet élément que signe Brindano.
Raila Amolo Odinga est né le 7 janvier 1945 au Maseno Mission Hospital au Kenya. Cet homme donc de 79 ans, issu de l'union Oginga-Odinga et de Mary Odhiambo Juma Gonga, est deuxième d'une fratrie de 18 enfants. Après son parcours primaire à la Kisumu Union Primary School, il poursuit et termine ses études secondaires à la Mandara Primary and High School en 1962. Pendant 2 bonnes années, il suit les cours de philologie de l'Institut Haider de l'Université de Leipzig. En 1965, il reçoit une bourse d'études qui lui permet de poursuivre ses études à l'École supérieure de machinerie lourde de Magdebourg, d'où il sort en 1970 avec un baccalauréat en sciences appliquées et un titre d'ingénieur en génie mécanique. Dès son retour au Kenya, il obtient un poste de chargé de cours à l'Université de Nairobi et en 1971, il fonde avec son père la Standard Processing Equipment Construction and Erection Limited, une société qui produit des réservoirs pour le gaz de pétrole liquéfié, qui plus tard sera renommée East African Spectrum. En 1973, il abandonne son poste à l'université pour se consacrer à sa société commerciale. En 1974, il devient directeur de département à l'agence publique Kenyan Bureau of Standards, responsable des normes de la métrologie. Il est également marié à Ida Odinga depuis 1973 et père de 4 enfants dont Winnie Odinga, Fidel Odinga, Rosemary Odinga et Raila Odinga son homonyme.
Eh bien, voilà, Raila Odinga est donc une des figures clés de la politique kenyane. Il est par ailleurs leader incontesté de l'opposition dans son pays. À plus de 5 reprises, il a tenté d'accéder à la magistrature suprême, mais sans succès. Immersion dans la carrière politique de l'homme. Paulinès Otou.
Vétéran incontesté de la politique kenyane, Raila Odinga est le leader de l'opposition dans le pays. Au cours de son long parcours politique, il s'est construit une base de soutien loyaux et inconditionnels, surtout parmi les Luos, communauté de l'ouest du Kenya dont il est originaire. Ses débuts et son engagement dans la politique remontent au début des années 80, où il milite contre la règle du parti unique, ce qui lui a valu de nombreuses années de détention. Il est arrêté pour la première fois en 1982 soupçonné d'être impliqué dans une tentative de coup d'État contre Daniel Arap Moi, président du Kenya à l'époque. Pour la cause, entre 1982 et 1988, il fera de la prison, toujours pour des litiges liés à la politique. De retour d'exil, il intègre le Parlement en 1992. À 5 reprises, il a tenté de remporter la magistrature suprême du Kenya, respectivement en 1997, en 2007, en 2013, en 2017 et enfin en 2022, sous la bannière de son propre parti politique, Orange Democratic Movement, créé en 2005. Au cœur de son programme politique, il défend des mesures sociales comme le Baba Care, censé apporter des soins de santé abordables pour tous, ou encore la mise en place d'une aide financière mensuelle de 6 000 shillings kenyans aux foyers les plus vulnérables. Il a aussi annoncé sa volonté de négocier un allègement de la dette et a placé la lutte contre la corruption au cœur de son programme. Surnommé Baba, il a occupé des postes gouvernementaux, entre autres, Premier ministre entre 2008 et 2013. Durant cette période, il est l'un des artisans de la Constitution de 2010. En 2023, la scène politique kenyane est marquée par l'alliance entre Uhuru Kenyatta et RAILA Odinga, anciennement des rivaux politiques. 26 autres partis d'opposition se sont ralliés à la cause de celui qui est considéré comme le leader de l'opposition. Malgré qu'il ne l'ait pas emporté, les partisans les plus fidèles le voient toujours comme un défenseur de la démocratie au Kenya.
While it may seem obvious that Africa needs a plan for success, it is difficult to pin down the specific contours of such a plan. But Odinga took pains to outline his vision for Africa. First, he noted the importance of the continent taking ownership of its internal and external relations with regard to politics, economics, and technology. This represents a marked departure from the current trend wherein Africans tend to let other entities define their relationships, Odinga noted. He also said that such initiatives must embrace all aspects of human rights, political, economic, social, environmental, and informational. And he emphasized the role for non-state actors in these efforts. His plan then encompasses 5 key steps on the road to prosperity in Africa. Quality leadership and citizen involvement, which will promote efficiency and capacity building, the expansion of formal democracy, which will promote social inclusivity, free, fair, and democratic multi-party elections, a willingness among nations to pool sovereignty on political and economical issues, developing the capacity to manage economic power imbalance, which will help avoid unnecessary competition and conflict. To underscore the importance of such a plan, Odinga discussed Africa's vast potential for economic growth. According to the African Development Bank, Africa's working population will reach 1.87 billion by 2060. This makes Africa the youngest continent, a factor that Odinga says will be the key to determine its future. Human resource provisions such as healthcare, education, and research will be required to harness this potential. He pointed to the BRICS countries as an example, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, as an example of how to overcome these challenges. Raila Odinga, a prominent figure in African politics, recently launched his bid for a key position at the African Union Commission. Odinga, who has been serving as the African Union's High Representative for Infrastructure Development, is now seeking to further his influence at the continental level. In the following report, Joe Ngong says his candidacy has drawn significant support from leaders across Africa, making him a strong contender in this race. Let's take a look.
Raila Odinga, a name synonymous with resilience and leadership in Kenyan politics, is now a significant figure at the African Union. His candidacy at the African Union Commission has sparked discussions on the potential he brings to the organization. Known for his strong advocacy for democracy, good governance, and infrastructure development, Odinga is seen by many as a leader who could drive progress across Africa.
I know that Honorable Raila not only possesses the requisite credentials, but he is also the ideal candidate to lead the Africa Union Commission. Accordingly, Kenya endorses his candidature unreservedly.
Odinga's experience in national politics, having served as Kenya's Prime Minister and a leading opposition figure, gives him a unique perspective on the challenges and opportunities facing Africa. His work as the African Union High Representative for Infrastructure Development has already earned him praise, particularly for his efforts to spearhead continental initiatives like the African Continental Free Trade Area.
People who have held the position of head of government, either at the Prime Minister level or at the presidential level, will be able to knock at the door of incumbent prime ministers and presidents without much ado. And such people will probably be the right person.
As a candidate for a more prominent role within the African Union, Odinga embodies a vision for a more integrated and progressive Africa. His candidacy is not just about filling a position, it's about charting a course for the future of the continent.
My selection to be Kenya's candidate is not about one man's ambition, but an African's journey to serve the motherland. Indeed, I plan to constitute my cabinet of chairpersons with a continental outlook. I'm grateful that friends and eminent persons across Africa have volunteered to engage in my campaigns from the West, North, South, Central, and of course, Eastern Africa.
As discussions continue, many are watching closely to see how his candidacy will shape the future of African governance and development.
Kenyan Raila Odinga's bid for chairperson of the African Union Commission has been heartily welcomed by leaders in the region. But has he secured enough backing to win over the world? What chances does Raila have of being elected as head of the African Union? Let us find out in the following report.
Kenya's veteran politician Raila Odinga, who officially launched his bid for the African Union Commission chairmanship, now has the uphill task of convincing the majority of the African Union members to vote for him.
My selection to be Kenya's candidate is not about one man's ambition, but an African's journey to serve the motherland.
Odinga will need a 2/3 majority vote to become the 5th Commission chairperson, succeeding the incumbent chairperson Musa Faki Mahamat in the February 2025 AUC elections. As the Kenyan candidate navigates the high-stake race, he has the advantage of the support of all the East African community heads of state, as well as leaders from other countries such as Algeria, Angola, South Africa, and Nigeria, amongst others. According to political analyst Agbo Tem, Raila's wealth of experience will work to his advantage.
Raila Odinga, the chairperson for the African Union, is a diplomatic responsibility for politicians and diplomats. And if you look at it from this point of view, Raila Odinga fits so well.
Not forgetting support from his people.
Kenya's involvement, the president of Kenya, the fact that he's backing Raila Odinga can also be a plus, because it's going to be diplomatic relationship, diplomatic commitment of the country to make sure that they have Raila Odinga as their head.
On the other hand, there are a lot of other factors to consider before securing the vote from presidents. The political analyst also highlighted points that could be to his disadvantage.
Raila Odinga represents the old politicians in Africa. He's still of the colonial area, and Africa at this time is at the point where a lot of this generation wants to do things on their own, wants to detach from colonialism and all what.
At the end of the day, his diplomatic ability.
It is about a diplomatic responsibility. And that is what is much more going to play. And if you look at that, if you put Raila Odinga on a scale of diplomacy and African integration, then I think that he will be the best candidate.
Places him at a better place of becoming the next president for the African Union Commission.
And it is a wrap for today's edition of Le Profil de la Semaine. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to download the Global LTV app from the Play Store or scan our QR code to stay connected. Also visit our various platforms as seen on the screen for more from Global LTV. And in the words of Raila Odinga, I dream of a continent that will long have consigned poverty to history. It will have a youthful, skilled and healthy population and will serve as a granary, factory floor and supplier to the world. It will be a continent that has made the 21st century its own and whose key development indicators match global standards. See you next time, stay blessed and may the best candidate for the AU chairperson win.
Alors, mesdames, messieurs, c'est la fin de cette édition, le profil de la semaine. Merci de l'avoir suivi. Abonnez-vous massivement sur toutes nos plateformes digitales et téléchargez notre application globale LTV sur Play Store pour ne rien manquer de nos programmes. À la semaine prochaine, même heure, même plaisir pour un nouveau profil. On dit à Raila Odinga, bon courage. Bye bye.